Bro, IRI just absolutely demolishes him, okay? We'll see.
Hey, Cenk.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. I have a lot of respect for you, but I worry about your progressive populism is dangerous. In fact, to me, you kind of sound like a political pickup artist. Like, just do this one trick and we can fix it all. And to me, it's no different than what MAGA is doing with their faux populism, with the deep state, with undocumented immigrants. Someone to blame. You're just giving people corporate, corrupt Democrats or corporate media as an excuse. And I think you're just taking advantage of disaffected people and not showing them we got to get more involved. We got to invest more. We got to try harder and get good people in there.
So you're saying that don't even try progressive populism, just go along with the establishment Democrats because they know how to win. That's why they beat Donald Trump twice. Oh, right. They lost to Trump twice. They don't know anything. Their number one thing was, oh, we know how to win. They were liars. They didn't know how to win at all. They got clowned by a guy who's not that bright. Now, number two, oh, we have this giant agenda, $15 minimum wage, all the things that we've talked about throughout the day. Oh, golly gee, we just couldn't pass any.
Alright, looks like he's allergic to shellfish and just ate shrimp. Maybe something with noisier backgrounds would work, like Milk Drop 2? Huh? I don't know.
Of it. Oh, wow. Okay. But hey, vote for an establishment Democrat. Don't get tricked by left-wing populism. Brother, do we actually ever try left-wing populism?
Yes.
Here's the three things we've tried. We've tried establishment Democrats, complete failures. We've tried establishment Republicans, complete failures. We tried fake populism under Donald Trump, complete failure.
I disagree.
So the only thing we haven't tried is left-wing populism. And you say, don't try it. Go back to the establishment Democrats. Go back to the donor class. Are you crazy? Let's try the one thing we didn't try. The Bernie Sanders way. Economic populism.
You say the American Rescue Plan that took half the kids in poverty out of it?
Dude. Cenk is such a fucking dishonest hack, dude. He's actually such a dishonest gish galloper. Like, he's unironically a gish galloper. Like, he keeps on gish galloping because he doesn't want people to actually, like, find out that he's actually a hack. Because once people start asking questions, like, his entire argument just starts to fall apart. It's so fucking disgusting. Anyway. Millions of people watch this and don't know he's the guy from the music video. Who? Huh?
Millions of kids who go to bed hungry. Is crumbs is doing nothing? That is a big deal. What about the millions of people who have health insurance now because of the Affordable Care Act subsidies? No, you can call whatever you want. But the reality is millions of people have health insurance today because of what the Democrats did when they controlled the House, the Senate, and the White House in 2022 under the Inflation Reduction Act and the American Rescue Plan. I can't stand that you call it crumbs. People don't want their whole lives given to them. They just want a little breathing room like our big President Biden used to say.
So you say you're super happy with the 5 to 10% that the Democrats gave you.
It's not 5 to 10%.
There's two things here. Number one, I don't know what economic class you're in, but the average American is not happy with 5 to 10% change. They want giant change. They want the actual, by the way, the Democrats.
How could you possibly say this? You're really saying that Medicare and like Medicare for all, affordable healthcare, like do you that's really something that you think is something that's tiny? Like, how fucking delusional do you have to be? Like, that is absolute fucking delusion.
Agenda is great. Our populist plank, the 6 most popular bills in the Democrat.
I think, you know, fuck, because I already seen this like 2 times at this point. But like, if IRI should just like hammer in on the affordable healthcare one, because that one is just a killer to his so by your definition, if you take away Obamacare, it won't affect people, so it's okay, right? Because it won't affect people, right? Because they want big change. They don't want small change like ACA, right?
Agenda are super popular with independents and even with Republicans, but they never ever do the most popular bills because they're economic bills. And you say that's good enough, but then why not try the entire agenda? Why not go with an economic populist like Bernie Sanders or Ro Khanna that's going to give you the whole agenda and actually try? Why give up ahead of time?
Those are great plans, and we should strive for them. But this is a giant country. We're the 3rd largest country in the world. We have a complicated democracy. We have to do things slowly. I know you don't like that. I know you want to get there, boom, boom, boom. But people do not want to abandon what they're used to. It sounds great on paper. Would you like single-payer healthcare where you save trillions of dollars and you pay less? Of course. But then when you show people how we get there, they're scared. They're nervous, and they have a right-wing media machine on overload that is scaring the hell out of people. That's what we're up against. This is reality, man. Welcome to it.
So Martin Luther King.
Bro, he's full of just like Dude, I don't know why this person with the fucking like LGBT fucking pin on his fucking hat and like that fucking quadruple chin is like going like oh my god, dude, give me a break.
Call this the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. So they tell you, don't worry, we'll do that tiny bit, and then when you elect us again, we'll do another tiny bit, and 200 years later, this will get done.
Millions of kids
let me
not
explain.
going to bed hungry is a tiny bit, Cenk?
Let me explain
Really?
in the context of healthcare. They say we're for universal healthcare. You go, okay, great, let's do Medicare for all. Oh, no way, wait too long. Okay, no problem, no problem. Can we do public option? This debate goes all the way back to the Affordable Care Act. They go, oh yeah, sure, we love the public option. Oh golly, gee, we had to take the public option out. There was nothing we could do. Okay, Obama says he had to take it out because the drug companies were opposed to it. First of all, you're admitting that you're giving into the donor class. Then Joe Biden comes in and goes, how can we do public option?
We have
It's at over 70%.
We have 50-50 split Senate with guys like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema.
Dude, this is literally just the Peace Corps Econoboy versus Destiny debate all over again, dude. Okay, like this is literally this all over again. Where it's like, okay, well, we need to fucking bully pulpit like motherfucking Joe Manchin, right? Instead of like actually getting more seats, instead of working to get more seats or something like that. Oh, we need to bully pulpit Joe Manchin, motherfucker. Joe Manchin, that guy holds the power. That guy is the Senate. Okay, that guy is the guy. It's him. He is the guy. All right, he's the guy that you have to appease. I'm sorry, dude, but that's just the reality of the situation. All right, Jesus, he's the only one who can win in West Virginia as a fucking Democrat. So yeah, you better fucking appeal to him. Yes, because guess what? You don't have the cards.
You know how
Every
you do it,
senator was a
brother?
king.
You know how you do it
How, get rid of the filibuster?
by trying.
Yep, they try. They try
didn't.
every day.
No, but literally
You're
they
not
didn't.
on the inside.
Like I love how much of a brain rot like fucking answer that was by trying. What the fuck? Bro, dude, this is like the dumb person's version of like smart politics. Oh, you don't understand. Politicians just need to try. What the fuck? Are you implying that politicians didn't try this entire motherfucking time? Like, what are you fucking talking about? You don't think they try every single time they try and do something? Oh my god, dude, what a fucking
Sorry,
No,
You don't know?
you're stating a misstatement, okay? So Joe Biden never introduced the public option. If you never introduced the public option, by definition, you did not try. No. Second of all, how do you pass it? Oh, the Senate is split. Okay, you put pressure on. So can pressure work politically? Well, we know because Donald Trump did it to Republicans. Now, he did it for his own cause and for his own self-aggrandizement. But anytime a Republican crossed him in the first term, he said, we're going to eliminate Joe Wilson in South Carolina, and boom, he was eliminated. Now, imagine if you did that.
You want to bully our senators?
Yes, I do.
That's
Absolutely.
what you want to do? You want to threaten their lives? What do you want?
That's unhinged, by the way. Just like, oh, I want to bully Joe Manchin. Okay, all right, dude. Good luck doing that. Fucking moron. You fucking inbred, stupid fucking Ozempic face. Look at you, you fucking Ozempic face moron. Just look at you. You're fucking bloating and fucking like swelling up like a fucking beached up whale about to explode from all the gases like fucking filling up in like the fucking like beached whale that is about to explode and like become like a fucking 5 dynamite explosion. Look at you, you fucking beached whale.
Okay, so can I explain?
They represent their people.
No,
Joe
they
Manchin
don't.
represents his people. They sent him there. How do you know that? You're not from West Virginia.
Okay, hold on. They represent their donors.
So
BS.
Okay. It's an excuse.
Oh yeah,
it's
I know.
An excuse.
The donors
it's
are non-existent.
They're
non-existent.
More
millions of dollars given to Joe
More
Manchin. He
people
doesn't care
donated
about
to
that.
Kamala than
Do you know
outside
that
groups in this election cycle. It's a boogeyman, and you're wasting people's time with this.
Nonsense.
Yes.
Do you know that Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, after they voted against minimum wage increase, went to the National Restaurant Association and collected checks? They literally work for their donors. It is super literal. And what you're saying to people is ignore it.
No,
ignore the
that's
donors.
disrespectful
Ignore
to
them.
everybody who sends money
It's
to those guys.
disrespectful to Joe Manchin, and I intend to disrespect Joe Manchin.
Disrespectful
I
to
despise
every
Joe
senator.
Manchin. I despise those
But you're
corporate
not from West
Democrats
Virginia.
who never ever deliver for you,
You're not
who
from
never
West
even try to
Virginia.
deliver for you. You
We're
know, here's
lucky
what
to
you
have Joe
say.
Manchin.
Here's what you say.
IRI did by far the best showing, in my opinion. Like, dude, I have seen parts of this, and I will say like IRI fucking cooked the fuck out of him. Okay, like just fucking sent him to the fucking afterlife is what happened. Okay, Jesus. Anyway, sorry. Back to this.
It's fucking insane that they got that bill passed with so many headwinds and so much.
IRI is a terrific debater, okay? Cook Ben Shapiro, really? Dude, this guy is like so fucking I think IRI is like the rare person who genuinely cares about politics, like for once. Jesus. Yeah, anyway.
Division in the party about what the bill should look like. They needed to be perfect in their execution in the Senate. Not even just in the Senate. Like, it wasn't a small thing to get it passed in the House either. You know, the party was way different.
Every member's Senate.
Fucking
Jesus.
13 years ago or 15 years ago.
Crazy.
It was a way different party. There was way more division about what these policies should look like. Somehow they got that bill passed, and it saved a lot of lives. It made a lot of people. It expanded healthcare access to tens of millions of people. It's not a small thing. Subsidized healthcare, you know, like they expanded Medicaid access. But Romney came up with a, you know, similar structure in Massachusetts. Therefore, it's a.
Wasn't super
on,
enough. I know. There's always an excuse. So here's how Cenk responded to.
There's always an excuse. Do you understand that you can apply this to like anything? So like the idea that presidents are not going to get everything on their agenda, this is just a reality for every president. I mean, that's what in a liberal democracy, you have checks on power. We wanted to avoid the same kind of structure that we saw under monarchies with like feudal lords and serfs and peasants and unchecked power from a single authority at the top through, you know, like dynasties. And so we conceived of a government where we had a judiciary to check the Congress and the presidency, and we had a Congress to check the presidency and a presidency to fucking, you know, like we split these powers up. The Congress writes the laws. They're the ones that decide what goes in those bills. And every single president, every single one of them, didn't get everything that they wanted. Not even FDR, not even LBJ. You can use what she just said to describe like any president.
And they go, no, we needed 61. Oh, come on, guys.
The supermajority wasn't
Come
super
on,
enough.
guys.
I know.
Come
There's
on.
always an excuse. So
There's always an excuse. It's like, well, it's not an excuse. It's just a reality.
15,
it's just an inescapable reality. Do you like our system of government? I think it's good. You know, it's not like there's no drawbacks. What did Churchill say about democracy? It's like the least bad form of government or something like that. It's not like it doesn't have drawbacks. Obviously, I think it would have been better if Biden was able to deliver on his
Churchill
entire
or something?
agenda. I think that would have yielded better outcomes. But I'm glad that presidents don't just think of bills and then write them out and then sign them into law. I think the structure of having a Congress do the legislation is a really good fucking system. The best system that the world has ever seen. Liberal democracy stays based. But that necessarily means that you're not going to get everything. That is just the reality. Like what? Like it's always an excuse. Oh, you needed 61 votes. No, they needed 60 votes to do the big stuff, right? Yeah, that's what Churchill said, right? It's the worst form of government except for every other form of government. I don't know exactly what he said. It was something to that extent. And they're just dripping with disdain for the very idea that the Congress can check the presidency. Maybe they are illiberal. Maybe, yeah. I think we get to just say they're illiberal. I mean, if you're illiberal, if you don't think it's based that the Congress.
Oh, so his term for it is illiberal, right? Or black pill left. I remember like him saying, I still think Dem Snark is the best one. I unironically think that Dem Snark is the best one.
Decides laws, you know.
It's just a beautiful.
That's a
way of describing
bedrock
everything.
foundational characteristic of Western liberal democracies. It's like that. It's like one of the most important pillars, you know. Yeah, they're all bad. All of these mouthpieces that come out of TYT, they all end up being like horrible. Do we have any examples of?
Well, Hassan, Dave Rubin, Hassan. Okay, so right, so Hassan, Dave Rubin, fuck, who is that guy? Fuck, dude, these names are there's so many. There's just so many. Oh, fuck. Jimmy Dore, right, okay, right. Okay, I was thinking of Jimmy Dore.
Media correspondents, former TYT media correspondents that
Francesca? Oh yeah, Francesca is also one. Yes, that's correct.
didn't end up being complete jokes. Is there a single example of this?
and the unwillingness to take stock of what just happened in the
Tim Pool? I don't think Tim Pool came from that, no?
country as it pertains to the Democratic Party. Even before everyone finally realized, as a result of Biden's debate with Trump, that his brain had already melted, Biden's approval rating and the way he was performing in the polls up against Donald Trump made it abundantly clear, oh my God, like the Democratic Party is super unpopular. Biden is...
You are an arsonist. You spent years lighting the Democrats on fire every fucking day. You actively, consciously, intentionally try to harm the Democratic Party at every step of the way with your relatively decent sized audience.
Hopefully TYT will be dead in like 5 years time. Holy shit. Because TYT, I don't think TYT is as like, their momentum isn't as high anymore. But by God, okay, we will take down TYT. TYT has to go down, okay? It is a monster. It is an enemy of democracy, okay? Jesus. Now does it show Lindy Lee? Who?
Let me just look up, like, if I look up
It picks up in election years? Man, fuck that shit.
TYT, minimum wage. Senate kills the minimum wage hike. Let's see how they...
Oh, I thought they were gonna say, oh, this is how much they pay their employees is minimum wage. Yeah. Didn't Cenk literally do union busting? Holy shit. Dude, someone's like silverback aped gorilla needs to come out, and so then when they confront Cenk, they just say, Cenk, didn't you do union busting in TYT? Didn't you union bust TYT's fucking union? Why did you do that, Cenk? If you claim you're so against this, aren't you a hypocrite?
Covered this.
The parliamentarian has ruled.
The guy before IRI did that. Well, how did he respond?
This is from 2021, I assume it would have been. Yeah, shortly after Biden was inaugurated, they were still negotiating the ARP. They got it done in less than 2 months, which is a big deal, by the way. But
$15 minimum wage will not be allowed in the COVID relief bill. They're saying that it cannot be passed through reconciliation, that it does not affect the budget directly, and so will be stricken.
Cenk said he strawman him. Strawman him how? He is like literally the only union buster in the whole room, probably. How is he a strawman? How the fuck do you... Oh, wow, dude, you're just like all the other union busters. Wait, what? How many other union busters are there?
From the bill. Now, when the parliamentarian rules that way, remember, that means that even if it comes as a standalone bill, it still cannot pass through reconciliation. So if you don't know any of those technical terms, which by the way are totally irrelevant, they're made up for obstruction reasons. I'm going to explain why in a second.
These are not made up terms. I mean, this is just... that, like, these are procedural rules that you have to abide by, and these are rules that the Congress agreed to.
That just means that the Democrats cannot pass it with 50 votes. So they need 60 votes unless they end the filibuster. So that means they're going to kill the minimum wage. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that. So why does...
He's saying the Democrats are going to kill the minimum wage when the reality was all 50 Republican senators were against it, and then a handful of Democrats. And the way he phrases it is the Democrats killed the $15 an hour minimum wage. There's no accountability whatsoever for all 50 Republicans who would have voted against it. They're not even a factor in his analysis. It's almost as if he was viewing the Congress at the time as...
It's almost as if he is a Republican, yes.
It's just a purely Democratic Party run institution. But the minority party, even when they're out of power, they still have a part to play in whether or not various legislation can get over the finish line, obviously. But he only squarely, exclusively focuses on a handful of Democrats in this instance that was against a $15 an hour minimum wage.
Reconciliation and parliamentarian mean nothing. Well, Republicans passed everything they wanted through reconciliation, and they didn't care at all.
It's just not true. It's just a lie. You see what I mean? When it's like, he actively makes his viewers dumber. The people that watch this content are going to be dumber on average than people who don't even watch the news. Like, what do you...
Dude, calling this content is an insult to content.
Doesn't necessarily mean that. So why does reconciliation and parliamentarian mean nothing? Well, Republicans passed everything they wanted through reconciliation, and they didn't care at all.
It's just not true. He's just making shit up. It's not true. The reverse Green Lantern, right?
Including a nearly $2 trillion tax.
Anyways, we don't need to keep going through it. I mean, it's just... There's just... hundreds, thousands of videos just like that one where they are actively trying to pour kerosene on the Democratic Party as Republicans are chucking matches in our direction, and these guys just gleefully help them at every step of the way. And then they have the nerve to turn around and be like, Democratic approval numbers are so low. It's like, why do you think that is? Do you not think that you have a part to play in this by just constantly confusing your audience with non?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And also, do you know what else is a self-fulfilling prophecy? Because when they say that, oh yeah, all these socialists go out and they vote Democrat, so these spaces aren't really making that much of an impact. I think that's also a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the more you spread anti-democratic rhetoric, it's not like all these socialists go out to then vote Trump. They just don't vote at all, or they vote Jill Stein. Right. So again, it's like survivor's bias all over again, where again, it just seems as though it just seems as though that like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because when the survey comes in and they want to find out whether or not some person voted Democrat or not, or somebody voted for Kamala Harris, they can't really find out because they stayed at home, right? It's not like they're exit polling anyone or any of that shit, right? So yeah, it's it's definitely an issue. And then you get to point and go, well, see, do you see it's not a problem, because all the socialists still vote for Kamala Harris and for the left, and all that shit. It's just like, okay.
Nonsense analysis and just falsehoods, just outright falsehoods. You don't have any part to play in that. Here's my hot take. The worst thing that's happened to political discourse in the last 20 years is the rise of alternative media. Not the mainstream media, not the politicians, not the donors. It's the alternative media ecosystem has destroyed reasonable discourse. It is a not.
Yeah, you also have to like use it to your advantage, though. I think the right wing uses that to their advantage first, and that's why they had such a big fucking advantage when it comes to that. And I think it's just really terrible. Not terrible, but it's like we kind of looked past it and we just didn't get on it enough, I guess. Which kind of sucks, because yeah, now we're just behind in that. But they depress the enthusiasm, which allows people to be like, it doesn't matter. And this is why apathy is the enemy of good, right? Because it's just so much more, because if it's just evil, we would see, like, what would we see? We would see a bunch of socialists voting Republican. We can clearly see the evil in front of us. But the apathy is invisible. Apathy is a snake. Apathy snakes its way into everything, right? That's what's so terrifying about apathy, is that it's undetectable until it's too late. Kind of like rabies, right? Once the symptoms start showing, it's already too late, right? Because by then, it would have already dug in deep enough.
Annihilated reasonable discourse. The people like Cenk and Anna, these people are no different from the Rush Limbaughs of the 90s. They have the same.
I'm sorry, but no one remembers anything before 2000s, okay? So you're going to have to refer to something else, okay? Just FYI.
Same kind of deleterious impact on things. Am I using that word right? Yes. Cause damage or harm. They have the same impact that Rush Limbaugh did. They're doing just as much, if not more damage, because they have bigger audiences that go beyond like AM talk radio.
Super unpopular. Voters are unhappy with how he handled his job in the White House. So why do you think that is? Why do you think
you, 4 years ago in the video that we just watched, told your audience that the Democrats killed a $15 an hour?
I remember my teenage years in the 90s were definitely different. Is it different because you were in your teenage years, or was it different? Or was it different because it was the 90s?
Minimum wage, when it was overwhelmingly the Republicans that killed it.
Boomer.
And then you have the nerve to turn around and be like, look at their approval numbers. It's almost like a baseball player betting on their own games. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, they actively contribute to a hostile environment for Democrats, and then they turn around and they monetize that negative media environment, that negative public sentiment that they.
Populist apathy towards our government employees, USAID. Yeah, I mean, that's the symptoms showing, right? because for years it's been so flagrant, the flagrant disrespect for government workers have been perpetrated by people like Cenk and Anna, where they believe that anyone who works in government is inherently evil, right? Or inherently have to take money from the donor class when, well, here's the thing, right? Working in government is oftentimes a very thankless job. Not only is it a thankless job, but the benefits are lower. So no one is working in government, because the thing is that you have to go through a lot of hurdles and a lot of like bureaucratic processes to get approved for working in the government, for some jobs, right? Even something like delivering the mail, which I had to go through, right? There's a lot of bureaucratic process, and a lot of times it can be a thankless job. And here's the thing: at least USPS workers do actually get a lot of thanks for that, but a lot of stuff go like undercover, so yeah.
They help foment, and then they turn around and they weaponize it. How timely? Did somebody just get busted for betting on their own games?
He was so low in the polls. Was it because he did a great job looking out for struggling Americans in this country? Or
I generally think he did the best job he could do in that spot. I think he optimized pretty much close to perfectly when it comes to legislation. He got the most. He squeezed every bit of juice he could get out of that Congress. Was he literally perfect? I mean, it'd be hard to make that argument for anybody, but pretty much as close to perfect as you can get.
could it be that people felt even more economic instability under Biden?
Yeah, but guys,
How do you not get bored of talking about populist rhetoric, right? Like, if you're a commentator whose job is to talk about how evil the rich are or something like that, like, how do you not get incredibly bored? It's just like so boring, isn't it? Like, it's unironically just the most drab, boring, evil commentary ever, right? Access to the internet and cell phones really changed so much. Different, not better or worse, but 30 years is a long time. Yeah, sure. Yeah, and we did not adapt fast enough, and I think we got fucked. So yeah.
Now she's blaming him for that. You see that? Like, inflation happened when Biden was president, and so she's like not so sneakily sort of like implying that he was to blame for that, which is absurd, right? These people are liars. It's not. I think she is a liar. I think he's an idiot. I think she is a grifter. I think he is an idiot. That's my view of things.
Great about what happened on.
Ooh. I mean, she could also be full of herself. I can totally see that too.